top 50 best songs of 2018. We are here. 50 songs that I thought were fucking great. Typically for songs lists, I've said this before, but like, if I want to play a good song, I'll mostly go for something a bit more pop friendly. So if you're wondering, oh, most of these songs are pretty well-known pop songs, then that's why. But even still, I still think they're all great songs regardless. I'm more of an albums guy, so when I want an album, I'll dive deep into something a bit more adventurous and unique. Whereas if I just want to play a fun song, you know, I'm just going to play a fun song. But even still, I hope you enjoy the songs I picked for this list. Some honourable mentions are going to come on screen right now. I bloom just for you, girlfriend. Remember to check out these songs if you haven't already. Also, as always, just let me know these songs that you've picked for your favourites of the year and why. You don't have to tell me why actually, but you can tell me why and that'd be great. But you know, you can just leave your list in the comments. And now for the official list. If you don't mind, I have my script right here, so I'm just going to read from it. Number 50. This song makes me emotional, and it's really sad actually. If you listen to the lyrics, when you read the lyrics, they're very emotional. And number 50, my favourite Anderson .Paak track from Oxnard, an album that let me down a little bit, but I do really like Tints. I need my windows tinted, I need my windows tinted, with Kendrick Lamar. Number 49, we got Girls Night Out, my favourite Charli XX single from 2018. She's released quite a lot of singles, but I think when she combines her more wild side and her really fun pop side together, she creates great tracks like this. 48 is Jeannie Becomes a Mum from the pretty underrated Caroline Rose album Loner. Then we got my favourite Blood Orange song from his album that came out this year. I was going to put Charcoal Baby, but honestly I played Saint so much more. I just think this is such a passionate track. Spreading all my love for you. Number 46, John Hopkins with Emerald Rush. Number 45, one of my favourite tracks from Young Fathers is Cocoa Sugar, Bought a Girl. And then number 44, a track that has grew on me quite a lot as the years gone on, and also gained a lot of popularity as the years gone on too. Sicko Mode from Travis Scott and Drake. I still think Drake has some corny lines on this song, but honestly the sections of this track are really impressive. It's one of the more creative hip-hop songs I think we've had in the mainstream in quite some time, and yeah, it just grew on me loads. Number 43, the collaboration between Jpegmafia and Kitty Beats with the song Puff Daddy. Number 42, my favourite track from Natalie Prass's album this year, Round, Round, Up and Down. 41, also another favourite track from an album that came out this year, a very overlooked album, the Onry Ozzborn album, and pretty much is the track I have chosen, a great track. Number 40, the best Ariana Grande single from the year. I don't want to hear any other suggestions for best song of the year, because it's obviously No Tears Left to Cry. That's right. Yeah. 39, the friggin' underrated album from Lily Allen, honestly. I don't love it, it's not going to make my year-end list, but Family Man, what a ballad this is, man. I feel like you've probably not heard this track because just no one seemed to care about this album, but this song is so powerful. Please listen to this. 38, Stir Fry from Migos. Number 37, We All Have a Hunger, We All Have a Hunger, We All Have a Hunger, We All have... Number 36, okay. This album, I've never done this with an album before, but somehow Playboi Carti did this to me, man. Dilate is good now. Yeah, it's good now. I hated it, but now it's good. I don't know how that happened, but Pull Up is definitely the best track on Dilate, and that has made my list. So good. Number 35, If It Wasn't For Wayne, It Wouldn't Be. I started this shit, they borrowed this shit, I thought of this shit. Number 34, I came, I saw, I came, I saw, I break the law. Number 33, we got Don't Gas Me from Dizzy Rascal. My God, This is a fucking banger. Jesus Christ. 2, we got After the Storm by Kali Uchis, Tyler Creator, and Bootsy Collins. So you better save yourself. Number 31, the Sophie produced Let's Eat Grandma single, Hot Pink. Easily the best track on the album, man. Holy shit, this is just off the wall and creative as fuck. Hot Pink isn't mine, isn't it? Isn't. Number 30. I don't know if I'm gonna be best. I don't know if I'm gonna be best. Oh me. Oh me. Denzel Curry with Perks. And 29. I feel like this guy gets a lot of hate. I mean, I'm not a big fan of him, but I think Post Malone has had some good songs this year. And Better Now. This is a great song, man. Yeah. This is great. This is great. 28. We got Campfire by Amine and Injury Reserve. Look, if it's a year-end songs list and Injury Reserve aren't there, then it's just not his songs list. It just doesn't exist. They've been putting out great tracks for like 3 years, or 4 years running now. They've got to make every list, man. Number 27, look, Scorpion killed me, but I mean, at least we got Nice for What. Like, there's usually at least a couple of good Drake songs every few years, and Nice for What probably is his best song to date. This is a great single. Holy shit, the sample used on here from the beats, just the hook. Drake is just alive. He's actually lively on this track, and most of the time whenever I hear him, he sounds half asleep. But Nice for What is just like unbelievably fantastic for a Drake song. I've got to give it to him here. This was so good. 26. Material, material, material. 26, Slow Burn by Casey Musgraves. Look, I like this album. It's good. It's good. Okay? It's not amazing. It's not like the best album of the year, like some critics were calling it, but it's worth your time, and this was definitely the best song on there. So yeah, I like this one a lot. Slow Burn. Number 24, probably my favourite popular song that came out in the course of 2018, the remix of Finesse by Bruno Mars, which featured Cardi B, probably the best I've ever heard Cardi B, to be honest. And yeah, it's such a fun, uplifting pop song that you don't often get on the radio. But I have a lot of fun with this one. I think Bruno Mars deserves a bit more credit from music critics and nerds, to be honest. I feel like he gets kind of, I don't know, left aside, but he actually makes some really fun music that I always have a fun time with and I like to dance to, so yeah. 23. But 22, probably my favourite closing track of the year, honestly, Tenderness by Paak Courts. What a great way to close off an album. That friggin' little piano, little riff that goes on. 21, you know, you guys probably have noticed that I'm not a great guy when it comes to metal music in the music reviewing community, but I will say that Zeal and Odor floored me with their track Row Row this year. Holy shit, this is ferocious. Row, row, you never gonna go. Gospel influence on this as well is just fantastic. Such a great combination of genres coming together to make one of my favourite songs of the year. Now we're in the top 20. I'm going to start off with Saba and his Prom King track. Unbelievable, this song. I cannot believe how much detail he packs into this track. It crushes you. Just the storytelling and the introspection on here. Saba killed it. He absolutely killed it. I think Care For Me is a really good album, but Prom King is absolutely the highlight of this album. Unbelievable song. Number 19, Fold 'em. Clarence Clarity, man, he is onto something with this approach to pop music. Like, I don't know if it's going to be the future, because that's kind of a bit of a bold statement to make, especially considering he's still a little bit off the wall and a little bit strange, I think, to catch on to more people. But honestly, he's put out probably my favourite pop album of the year. And I could have put almost every track on here, but I've chose Fold 'em because I think it's just a fantastic song and so creative. Yeah, Clarence Clarity, his production is off the wall. Number 18, surprisingly quite high. I guess when I was doing my list, I wasn't expecting to see a track from the Black Panther soundtrack to be so high. But actually, you know what? Outside of the context of the film, because I don't think this song was really in the film, I think this is such a great song anyway. The track I've chosen is Bloody Waters by Absol, Anderson .Paak, and of course James Blake makes a feature at the end too. I mean, I love Anderson .Paak, as you guys all know. I think his hook is fantastic on here, but Absol kills it with his rapping. Like, his rhyming across this entire track is just so good. I actually thought the Black Panther soundtrack was pretty decent and has some great singles on there, but this is easily my favourite one. 17, probably Ballad of the Year, I guess you could call it, but Linda by Heinz. I mean, I just think this little guitar riff across the whole thing is so simple, but it's one of those cases where simplicity just ends up ruling, because this is just such a well-crafted track. Barely anything to it, but it works so well. I think Linda is absolutely fantastic, and Heinz in general actually are a really good band that I think more people should give a shot. 16, a future pop star in the making, I think Rina Sawayama with Cherry. I'm really hyped for her debut album. I hope it doesn't let me down, because I think she started off her career so strongly with that EP, and I think Cherry carries that on, honestly. I think this is easily one of her best songs to date, and again, Clarence Clarity with his production on here, so fantastic, just knows how to make an instantaneously catchy track, and Rina Sawayama is just such a great performer. I hope she gets more mainstream attention one day, because she deserves it. But 15, we got Yves Tuma. Is that how you say his name? I don't know. It's Noid though. This track right here is so good. Like, I can understand people being kind of put off by the album in general, but this track is just so good. Everything about it, the way it's structured, the singing on here is absolutely fantastic. I just think it's just flawlessly all comes together in such a really, really unique way for current modern day music. It has a bit of an indie flair to it, but I do genuinely think there aren't many songs that sound like this out there. 911, 911. But 14, another song I didn't really expect to see so high on my list, but honestly, I've played this quite a lot with my friends this year, so I think it's just got one of those kind of personal attachment type things to it, and that is Fireworks by First Aid Kit. Now, I do genuinely love this album, but Fireworks is such a great single. The harmonies on this track, I mean, the harmonies across the whole album are near perfect, but I think on this track, especially on the chorus, why do I do this to myself every time? Like, I just feel like it's one of those tracks that you would play at a prom or something, and people are dancing. It's just got that perfect tone to it. Their singing is to die for, as I said. Great song. 13, my favourite track from Twin Fantasy by Car Seat Headrest, the reimagination of that lo-fi indie album from 2011. We got Bodies. I mean, I could have picked many tracks from this. Beach Life and Death is one of my highlights on there. Even Stop Smoking is such a great track too. And the opening, my boy. But I think Bodies is a track that manages to contain itself within like a pretty short runtime in comparison to some of the really long tracks, but still varies it up in such a great way throughout the course of the track. And Will Toledo singing across here, I think, is pretty top notch, despite the fact that he's not like the best singer around, but I think he sells his performances so well, and it's just overall one of the best rock songs of the year. I can't deny this at all. Number 12 wasn't as big on Rosalia's album as I think other people were this year, but the singles, you can't deny these singles, man, and the one I've picked is Di Mi Nombre. Just such a great little flamenco tune that I'm so happy to see got so popular too. I mean, if you go on YouTube, it has millions upon millions of views, which I think is really impressive considering last year she was just a relatively unknown artist. So I'm really happy to see that this style of Latin infused music is catching on, and you've got such a great performer that's performing these tracks in Rosalia as well. For 11, my favourite track from US Girls' album, which again is another one of those albums that not many people seem to have loved as much as me, but I think Rosebud is a great little tune. I think the vocals on here are really, really pristine. I think the flow of the track is really soft and elegant. And yeah, I mean, I just get sucked into this whenever it comes on. Like, it's just such a, like a... Now we're in the top 10, we're in the top 10, I'm wide awake. My favourite track from the Wide Awake album, the title track Wide Awake, which just has so much energy, it's so stompy, it's fiery, it's repetitive for sure, it's definitely repetitive, but I definitely think that they are one of the best rock bands of the year and have actually been consistently putting out really good music for the past few years. Which just proves that the Grammys, when it comes to rock music, just don't know what they're talking about, man. Like, how is this not getting a nomination when instead you're getting, like, Greta Van Fleet, Fall Out Boy, and Weezer? It's pathetic, man. This is just such a great rock album that needs way more attention because it absolutely deserves it. Number 9, as everyone may remember, I wasn't huge on Daytona, but easily one of the best songs of the year came from that album, and that is The Games We Play. Holy shit, this beat, Kanye, he killed it on here. Like, this beat right here is the best beat on the album, and sure, the album for me just got a bit repetitive with the same kind of topics that he was spewing on every track, but when you just listen to a song on its own, I think it's like flawless to listen to because you've got the perfect bragging, you've got the great beat, and Pusha T just kills it on here. Number 8, you thought I only had one Clarence Clarity single on my list, but in fact you were very wrong because I have Naysayer Godslayer from his Think Peace album this year, one of the most fun songs I think I've heard all year. And the way it sort of transitions into Adam and the Evil as well right at the end, I think it is. I just love, like, I love everything about this track. Sure, maybe a bit repetitive with the way it, you know, it loops into a song that he already made, but I think somehow it ends up working in its favour so well. I think the hook on here is absolutely instantaneous. Girl, you make me feel like you've been fucking everyone. Again, he's just one of the most creative producers around. Made one of the best albums of the year. It's a great song. Number 7, the intro track from Avondale Bowling Club's self-titled album, Years Gone By. The rapping on here is amazing. The storytelling as well. I just love how he goes from, like, literally every year in his life, and as time goes on, you notice that things are getting harder, things are getting more serious in his life, so many more things unfold that just hit him harder and just create so many difficult situations, and it's just so potent the way he tells the story. And just the music on here, especially when the jazz instrumentation kind of thickens as the song goes along, it's just fantastic. Amazing song from an amazing album. Number 6, an amazing rock song that I almost slept on, but You Let Your Tires Down, unbelievable. I fucking love the instrumentation when it crashes together towards the end. The vocals are wild. This man always sounds drunk, but somehow he makes it work. It's a fantastic rock song that, again, just needs more attention in a day where you could argue that rock is dead, but when songs like this are happening, nah man, the bluesy punk fusion is just so creative, and they're one of the best bands around. I mean, especially considering, you know, this is members from the Drones as well. The Drones' work is great, this work is great, they're just so good. We are in the top 5 now. I Shall Love To from Julia Holter. Yeah, beautiful song. I think everything about this is perfect. I saw this live, I died when I saw this live. It was wonderful. Genuinely believe that Julia Holter's nailed the chamber pop sound, like, to a T, to make it more lavish and expansive in ways that not many other artists can do in today's day and age, I don't think, and even in history. When you get back and listen to other artists doing this sound, I think Julia Holter is one of the best to ever do it, and she's got one of the best discographies of the 2010s, and I Shall Love is just flawless. Number 4, I wasn't huge on Janelle Monáe's Dirty Computer this year, but Make Me Feel, hands down, the best songs of the year, and it's been out since like friggin' February or something, and it's remained to be one of the best tracks we've had all year. Make Me Feel, the Prince influence on here is just integrated in a perfect way. I think the absolute catchiness of this track is just unmatched by most pop stars around these days, and I think Janelle Monáe absolutely deserves to be considered one of the biggest and best pop stars we've had all decade. And yeah, it's just one of those songs that absolutely deserve to be like top in the charts. In an alternative universe, this would have been the top of the charts for a long time, but it isn't. But still, Janelle Monáe, great song here, and she just kills it every time she puts out an album. There's always at least 1 or 2 songs on every album she puts out that is just absolute pop perfection, and this is one of them. Number 3 now, we're in the top 3. What the hell is going to be my number 1? But at number 3 we've got The Reason They Hate Me from Daughters. Who the hell thought of the idea to make chainsaws and rock combine into this song? It just sounds so fucking good. How the hell did they make this song? They are just one of the best noise rock bands around. This track right here is stellar. I just think the performances all around on this song are unbelievable. Like, absolutely unbelievable. The vocalist of this band is just ferocious. The performances are killer. Like, everything about this band is just fantastic. And The Reason They Hate Me is just peak noise rock in my opinion, because it just combines so many elements together to make an actually pretty catchy track too. It catches you completely off guard whenever it comes on during the album. Holy shit, one of the best songs of the year. I highly recommend you listen to this if you haven't already. Unbelievable. Number 2, I would go as far as saying that this is probably the best song to have never made an album in the 2010s. I don't know how this was left off of Oxnard, but somehow it was, and that is Bubbling by Anderson .Paak. Just the charisma he is oozing with this song was just completely left off of the album, unfortunately, I think, and this track right here is just proof of what this guy can do when he is just on fire. This man is an absolute performer. He is fiery, energetic, and this track is such a nice combination of trap and hip-hop, but made in a different way that you probably haven't heard really before, because I think it's just such a creative blend of sounds that I think came together in such a great way. It has a fantastic hook. The performance from Anderson is stellar. It even got nominated for a Grammy, which is pretty amazing, and this is easily one of my favourite rap songs to come out over the past few years, hands down. And my song of the year, I don't even know if people are going to be able to guess this, honestly, at this point, because I was surprised too, but it is, in my view, by Young Fathers. I am floored every time I hear this song. Honestly, this song just stops me in my tracks and I am just hooked onto it. I just think the singing on here is euphoric. There is just so much life in this song. Like, I just feel like this song is life. I don't know how, but I just think everything about this feels so real. The performances, music here, it is just so touching. I think they are absolutely one of the best bands in the UK right now. I think the blend of genres they have put together are absolutely stellar, and honestly they are kind of underrated in the grander scheme of things, because as UK music goes, this isn't like something you're gonna hear like on the radio or anything, or they're not really selling out arenas, but they absolutely should be with songs like this. It is life-affirming. This is a life-affirming song that I think most people need to be listening to, because I just think it just hits me in ways that not many songs this year have. I don't know how, I can't quite describe it, but it just is flawless. So my number 1 song of the year, in my view, Young Fathers. Unbelievable. Great song. What a great year for music too, and I'm just not sure if Young Fathers will ever top this song, because I just think it's that good. But I'm okay with it, because I'll be listening to this from years to come, absolutely. I just know this is a song that will stick with me for a long time. And thank you for watching. That is the end of the list. This is a friggin' long video, I do apologise. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got recommendations from it. I hope you just enjoyed watching my video, I suppose. Let me know your favourite songs of the year in the comments. Let me know. Share this video, please. It would be absolutely amazing if you could share it around, because I think there's just so much great music that needs to be heard. Subscribe to the channel for more views. Albums of the year coming soon. Yeah, songs of the year 2018 is here. This is it. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts on all the songs I've chosen, and have a good day. Bye-bye.